So I'm gonna do kind of like a quick review of this thing. I seen there's a couple reviews of this, but it's really just like unboxings because this is fairly new. They have these at Lowe's. It's the 5'5" animated DJ Bluetooth skeleton, and I really like it for the Bluetooth feature. And I don't really see anybody talking about that very much. So there's a box in the middle of the robe on the inside, and it's got a volume button on it, and I'll talk about that in a second. But in the store, when you play the demo of it, the audio is just really, really fucking horrible. But, you know, what I did is I took a Fitbit and I went to Lowe's and I started blasting Metallica, and it sounded really fucking good. So I got sold on it, and so I bought it and I brought it home. Now I'll play a demo of it, and I want to explain two different things with the volume. And so what I got here is just a free program called Media Monkey, and it's just a music player. You could just throw a couple MP3s in here or whatever and link your PC up to this through Bluetooth, and then have your own playlist, which is pretty cool. So I tested it on this, and I tested it on a Fitbit watch. Now, the difference between these two is when I'm playing through the PC, I can control the volume louder and more quiet. And I'll try to demonstrate that. I don't know how good you'll be able to hear it, but I really like doing it through the PC a lot better. Now, when I did it through the Fitbit, and I tried to use the volume up and down on the Fitbit, it didn't really seem to work very good. And maybe it didn't even work at all. And so I had to manually adjust the knob inside there when I was using it through the Fitbit. But doing it through the PC, I could adjust the volume very easily up and down through the PC. So we're gonna play a song here, and I'll shut the lights off as this is going because it has like disco lights and stuff, but let's try this.
Now let's start.
Now if we go to the volume here, you hear it getting pretty loud. So that's the cool thing about a PC, is messing with the volume that way. I will turn the lights off and I'll show it a little bit, because this strobe light is actually pretty cool. Now, if you hear that noise at the end, I will say that is pretty fucking annoying, is the animatronic noise. Now I'm sure if you're playing this at a party and stuff, you're not going to hear that rotating very much, but you'll hear it kind of like in the beginning and ends of songs, and if you don't have the volume very high. I'm not the type of person that likes to blast music and annoy my neighbors and shit, so I try to keep it fairly quiet, you know. I plan to kind of use this as a regular just media player in my house. I still use an old 90s subwoofer because I really like those, but I turn the subwoofer off, but you know, it's a whole other subject. But yeah, I really like this. I don't like that squeaky noise that I was just talking about. The only other kind of gripe that I have is the box underneath, and to put the felt on it, on top here, you really have to stretch the felt to go into these pegs. And I kind of think, I don't know if it was just this one that they kind of cut maybe a little bit off, but you really have to stretch this, and I feel it might rip over time, and you might have to create your own new felt on here, or put a blanket, you know, like a sheet over it or something. That would be an alternative if this rips and is all messed up, is just get a black sheet and put it over, you know, lap it over. But it's on here by, like, you stick it by Velcro and stuff. It's just putting the top on, it really stretches it very, very tight, to the point where I do think it's going to rip and possibly separate, but I can't say for sure if that's going to happen or not. It just really seems like it. But yeah, overall this thing's really cool. It was $300, and what you could do is actually sign up for a Lowe's credit card and get 20% off. So I bought 2 of them, and they max it out at $100 off. So I got 2 for, I think it was $530 total, which $300 a piece is kind of a lot for these. A couple of other people have said the same thing. Kind of wish that the hand would rotate a little or something, instead of just being in that, you know, position. I also kind of wish that I could use it as a music player without it moving. That would be kind of cool too. I don't think I could do that. I would have to relook at the settings, but I don't think so. It has a lot of other settings on it too, and other videos talk about that if you want to know how to hook it up to the other band members and stuff. You can look at other videos on how to do that. I was more concerned about the audio aspect of this before buying it, and I'm glad I bought it. It sounds pretty good. I was going to open up the speaker box, which is underneath, and I was actually going to splice like a 12-inch speaker into it and just put it underneath the robe or something, or put it in the box and, you know, put a real speaker box there or something, you know what I mean? Maybe even like stick this under there. But it actually, I like how it sounds. It's not too bad, especially for a tiny speaker that's in there. It could get pretty loud. If you're a person that likes bass, it doesn't really have much bass. It's more treble, I would say. It's not really much bass at all. But to me, I think that's perfect. It's not going to annoy the shit out of people. And yeah, the house is pretty messy. I just tore this thing apart and put it together because I was excited. So I hope that that helps somebody. Right now they have these out at Lowe's. I don't know when people will see this video, but they have this out, and then they have the 2 little things that you can put in front of it that you can connect, and they kind of dance. They're only about like this tall, as tall as like the first speaker. They're pretty small, but they were like $100 a piece. so you can connect those and they can kind of dance with them, and it's pretty neat. But the price point for all this is pretty high. It's pretty high. But yeah, that's that. All right, after I stopped that last video, I did notice two things. So let's turn this back on a second. If you notice, he's not moving anymore. He's just lit up. So like I was saying in the other video, kind of like I just wanted to use it as a music player sometimes, and you can without hearing that the animatronic moving around. So I want to talk about that. And there's also there's an external plug for a speaker, but I tried a speaker that I have and it didn't work. But it was a very old speaker, so the plug just, I don't know, it didn't cooperate. We'll see if we can try to pick this up here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the back of the box here, and you do have a speaker jack right there, and you could plug a speaker in there and have an external speaker for better sound. But like I said, the one that I have didn't work. So to get the animatronic to stop working at the top, what I did is I disconnected the letter M, and that's what made it stop moving. Because it does kind of get annoying if you just want to use it as like a just a music player. It kind of gets repetitive. So I think when people come over, I'll plug that back in, you know, so it actually moves, and I'll plug it, you know, in and out. So still overall, it's really cool. And I'll show it again with the M unplugged. You know, it lights up and just doesn't move. So that's pretty cool.